Good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, folks.
How are you?
Hey, Tony and Sherelle Whiteside here, candidates for Richmond County Board of Education, District 3. Eh? All right, we're live, and we just wanted to reach out and see how many people wanted to engage us with questions that they may have about why we're running, what we're going to do, or anything else, any kind of concerns you may have as far as things go.
Yeah. So first, I want to start off before people start logging on and chiming in. Just a few reminders that early voting will start on Monday, October 15th at 8:30, and some of the places you can go is Diamond Lakes, Warren Road, the Municipal Building, and also the Henry Brigham Center. Okay, so make sure you get out to vote, guys. It's very, very important. Your vote matters, and these are your voices. Trust me.
All right, and that starts Monday, October 15th at 8:30 in the morning. And you can go to augustagA.gov for more information. Just type it in Google, and you can find anything you need.
Yes.
All right, and we understand that a lot of people have to work today. It's lunchtime for a lot of folks, so
Yes.
we don't mind. We're still going to do this thing, and we hope that you watch it later so that you can get all the information. And we're still going to go over some things that we want to talk about, some very important things about what we plan to do. And hopefully when you watch it later, you can still contact us. Go to Whiteside, at Whiteside 2018 on Facebook, or Whiteside for Richmond County Board of Ed. If you want to just type it in the search button, you can find it that way. So please engage us no matter what. You can send us an email. You can message us on Facebook, go to Instagram, do whatever you need to do. Just type in the name Tony or Sherelle Whiteside and get the information you need.
All right, so we're going to start with our platform. We have a few things that we want to help the Richmond County Board of Education system to be better. Yeah. So one of those things is family engagement.
Yeah.
We are huge advocates for education, and we think that there should be a big presence in the school. Now, we understand that there are a lot of parents who are working parents and aren't able to be there in the school system or in the schools, visit the schools. But let me tell you that if you have someone or you know someone that can be present, let them know. Even myself, I will visit the school, check on your kid, help your kid. It doesn't matter. Just reach out and I will be there.
Yeah, there's one thing that we do every year, and that's have a one-on-one with the principal. And we encourage everybody to do that. Just, you can send an email, you can do a phone call, or you can go and visit. They will make time. They will carve out time for you to sit down and answer any of your questions and try to quell any of your concerns. But please reach out to the administrator, the principal and vice principal. Usually when we had a meeting, both of them were always there.
Yes.
Every time we had a principal's meeting or every time we sat with a vice principal, they both showed up. And it made such an impact. I'm telling you, it makes such a difference. So if you can do that, do that. Or if you don't have time to do that, if you can't carve out the time, call them. Call them. They'll take your call. If you leave a message, they'll call you back. They're very engaged, folks, and all you got to do is reach out. If you don't believe me, call us and we'll go with you.
Yes.
We sure will. We've done it before.
Yeah, it's an interview process. They are caring for your kids, so it's important that you know who these people are and what you expect from them, and then they know what to expect from you as well. So it's important.
Yeah, one thing I read a little while ago was an article about, actually it was a class I'm taking at Harvard online, and they were talking about how important it is for the parents to actually meet with the teachers at the beginning of the year or the week before school starts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of an interview, like Sherelle said. You interview or you talk to the teacher and the principal, but especially the teacher. What you want to do is you want to sit down and find out what they need from you, but you want to also tell them who your child is.
Right.
Very important because, you know, you may have a different kind of child, or they may be a easy, you know, go along type kid. Whoever it is, you want to let that teacher know who your child is and what to expect from you.
Absolutely.
And what you expect from them. And that should happen before the school year even starts. No one that I know of starts a job and does the interview second. No one that I know of does the interview later.
Right.
You know, a couple of jobs I had, I've had to do 6, 7 interviews before I even got the job. But I know you're going to do at least one. So I don't know of anyone who starts a job and does an interview afterwards.
Right.
And that's the kind of thing that we've noticed that the school system should actually try to work on. There's professional learning that we know of that starts the week before school, 1 week
Tanya.
or 2 weeks. Hi. So we need to make sure that that's being done. Okay. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else?
When we speak about family engagement, it's not just about signing up to go on a field trip and maybe parent conference or just the big school events. Family engagement is being involved in every aspect that's going on in your child's school life. You know, just don't come just for field trips and parent conferences. You need to come do pop-ins. You know, I'll do a pop-in in a heartbeat.
Yep.
I won't care. You know, we learned not too long ago with one of the schools our kids go to that you only have a certain amount of time to visit your child in the classroom.
Yeah.
So we looked at the teachers and said, that's not going to work for us. So we're trying to get in with the principal now to find out what we can do to change that, because no one should be subject to only a certain amount of time to visit those schools. They should be able to pop in any time of the day.
And we do understand about distractions and interruptions in the classroom.
Yes.
But most of the time, the parents are going to sit in the back and observe.
Right.
They're not going to say anything that we've seen. So there are times when things can get a little, flaky or whatnot. Mm-hmm. But most of the times, what we do is we'll go and sit in the back if there's a chair for us, or if there's not, we'll stand in the back and just watch and observe.
We are there.
But we did find, because I went to once we learned that from the teacher, I sent the principal an email and said, I don't see this on the board website. Where's the policy? The board has policies as far as what you can do and what you can't do. Just like any organization that you belong to, there are policies about what you can and can't do. Mm-hmm. I said, I don't see a policy about school visits concerning 15 minutes on certain days and 30 minutes on other days. Didn't see it. I said, please show me a policy. He did point out a policy that the school had developed that said, well, it's in our manual. Well, as far as I know, if Starbucks makes a policy, the local franchisee can't change it. They can add to it with the approval, but you just can't go and add to a policy. So we're going on getting that changed. So if these are issues that we're talking about that, maybe some people are putting things in place that don't really go.
Right.
But they're definitely most times not legal or within the regulations. And that's what we deal in.
Yeah. Another thing we want to hit on is getting the community informed, meaning we want to, with the meetings that go on at the Board of Education, we know some parents can't reach or they can't come at that particular time. So we want to meet the people where they are. We want to make sure that this information that's put out at the board meetings, that they are spread to everyone in the community. We can't, it's not, what's the quote, you can't get information and not share it with other people.
Yeah.
That's not right. So a lot of parents are left uninformed is because they can't make it to the meetings and that information is not being passed down.
And what we try to do is we try to get the meetings, and a lot of parents don't know how. If you don't know how, then you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. It's a famous quote I like to use, but the information is on the board website. If you go to the rcboe.org website, you click on eBoard, you can go to the slides and see every single thing about the meeting. What I used to do is go in and record the meetings All right, I still have the footage of those. But we have another webpage that we run. It's called Concerned Parents of the CSRA, which is where we try to put out fun things, but also information that comes from the board so that parents can be involved. So Concerned Parents of the CSRA
Please visit.
Is where we put information that the community can find and see if they can use. But yeah, all the information is there. It's just the parents don't know how to ascertain or to get it. But it's all there. And what we try to do is make it easier. And we've been doing that for years, for about 7 years now.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm saying, so this is not new to us.
Right.
We've been doing this. We've been in it since our boys have been in it. And they've been in school for about almost 7 years. And we've been at this for 7 years. So, it's not anything that we just came up and said, hey, yeah, we want to run for elected office and try to see what we can do. And now, if you listen to some of the other candidates, I want to do good stuff.
What does that mean?
What one candidate said, and another candidate, I think he read our webpage and said, yeah, I want to reach families. Yeah, but you got to say how.
How are you going to do that?
How. I also read a Facebook post about one of the candidates, and he said, well, as soon as I learn how to open up this email thing, then I'll get back to you. Wow.
What is life going to be like for him?
Wow. In this age, in the age of cyber,
technology,
with Fort Gordon here, bringing all of these families here. If you can't engage email, then you can't engage these families.
Right.
And I retired from Fort Gordon, home of cyber, and 13-year veteran sitting to my right here. And she left, actually separated right here at Fort Gordon. So we are Fort Gordon is home to us.
Yes.
And we've been here on and off about 30 years. So who can engage with Fort Gordon? We're the only two running right now for office, or besides another candidate in another district that can really engage with Fort Gordon in that way. We are technically inclined, all right, because our boys are, 10 and 11. So we don't have a choice.
Right.
We have a stake in the school system because we have 2 kids in the school system. All right. So we are very involved. We're the only candidates with kids in the school system in this district anyway. All right. There are a couple other candidates that have kids in the school system, but in this district,
District 3,
we're the only ones with a stake in it. All right. So we're the only ones with feet on the ground. Actually, we went to a Title I meeting about a week or 2 ago.
Maybe 2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago, we went to a Title I meeting at the Board of Education. We were the only 2 candidates at the Title I meeting. Every school in Richmond County is Title I. Yeah. I wrote on the paper, if you're not here, you're not serious. All right. Sherelle.
Yeah, you just can't sit behind your desk and know what's going on in the school system. You have to be boots on the ground.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, it's that old Army saying, you got to have boots on the ground. Yeah. You got to be in the weeds. And we've been doing this for a long time, folks. So spread the word. If you, if you cast a vote, cast it for Whiteside if you live in District 3. All right. So another point.
Yes, let's move on.
Yeah.
So another thing, we talk about family engagement, and I think one of the issues that that hinders parents visiting in the school or relatives or anyone who wants to be in the school, the volunteer system. We understand that I had to do it. They do a background check. You have to do a background check in order to become a volunteer. One of the things we want to do is try to revise that and move it to a tiered system so that you won't have to endure a rigorous background check. I understand why they're necessary at some points, but if you're just there to help the teacher, you're never alone with the child. If you're alone with the child, then yes, I understand the rigorous background check, but if you're in the classroom with the teacher has eyes on you with that child. So I don't think a background check is really necessary, but that's something that we want to look into and change in so that we can get more volunteers in the school system, because we think that may be a reason we don't have many volunteers.
And that you get more stringent at Tier 3 is where you do fingerprints, the background checking the fingerprints at Tier 3. that means you're going to be alone with the child. But I don't see at any point ever during the child's learning day that you would be alone with the child. I don't agree with that at all. So tier 1, 2, and 3. And tier 1 is the sex offender check. All right. So you do that. It gets sent off, and that's that. And anyone can do that on anybody without giving up any personal information. When you submit a background form these days, you got to put your social, your name, your date of birth. In the age of cybersecurity, where identities are being stolen all the time, that's the last thing you want to do, because when you do it at a school with a person you don't know. Right. This person you don't know takes the information, maybe puts it in their car, and it doesn't probably go directly to the Board of Education. And then they take it to a person you don't know. And then that person's boss maybe does a background check. You don't know. But all this time, your social security number is sitting there with someone you don't know, your date of birth, your phone number, and your address, along with your name. Someone else could be you. All right. So that's what we're concerned about in that aspect when it comes to filling out forms with your personal identifying information, your PII on it. So we don't want to get into that. At no time should you be alone with anyone's child except your own during a school day. All right. So I say this in comparison to the surrounding counties. No other county around here does it like Richmond County. All right, being so restricted. Columbia County even, if we want to point out counties, up until this year, I think, you had to go online to the Board of Education site and watch a video in order to be a volunteer. Right. All right, I think they got a little more of that. I think they're doing the tiered system this year. All right, but every other county, including Aiken, including some Atlantic counties and outside the CAL, are doing tiered systems. I say we move to that, and that way we can increase parent engagement and family engagement in our schools. We got to find a way to do it. We can't just keep saying we want to do things and then get elected and not do them. Right. We don't believe in that. We believe in action, and we plan to make it happen.
Yeah, you can ask some of our past principals. They they know that we mean business.
But they know that we're good for the system. They know that we're good. When we're coming to visit, we're coming to help, and we're not coming to hinder. Yeah. And so that's a big difference also.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Mm-hmm. We want to encourage parents and citizens to speak at the board meetings.
Yes.
So my husband did a little bit of research because he was attending a lot of board meetings in the past. And he came home to me with this information.
All right. So at the Richmond County board meetings, you have 5 minutes to speak. Every other board around surrounding us, CSRA, you have 5 minutes to speak at the board. Every citizen, any citizen, you don't have to be a parent. All right. But with the Richmond County school system, you are required to submit a synopsis of what you want to talk about 7 days in advance. I think it's 7, but you can go in and look on the board website. So in addition to that, you have to make copies for every board member and a few other people, all right, about what you want to talk about. And then you have to wait on approval from the board before you're allowed to speak. At our surrounding counties, you show up, you sign in, and you put on the agenda to speak for 5 minutes. Why is it so stringent in Richmond County? What are you afraid to hear? I don't mind listening. When one of us get elected, we're going to encourage that. We're going to try to change these 3 policies right here on our forefront, because all of these encompass parent engagement. All 3 of these things. If you want parents to be involved, the only way, according to my Harvard course that I'm taking online right now, the only way to increase parent engagement is to increase school grades in school, as far as the kids and their welfare go, is by increasing parent engagement and family engagement. Actually, it's not just parents, because we see a lot of grandparents. We see more grandparents because the parents have to work. So the grandparents are stepping in and helping. But the only way to improve our schools is by increasing family engagement. That's the only way.
Yeah, your voices, it's important that your voices are being heard. Mm-hmm. I think they go in and they make these decisions without hearing what we as parents have to say. I think our input is important. Our feedback is very important. I think right now, a lot of decisions that are made, they're not really helping the school system. They say that it is. So you can throw money at anything, but is it going to fix the problem? You know, the work has to be put into it. So I think they need the parents' input, and that's what he's saying, that we should be able to change this policy so that parents can speak and voice their concerns.
Yeah, and that's basically, everybody wants to be heard. Yeah. Everybody wants to be heard, so you have to give people an opportunity to speak in order for them to be heard.
Right.
All right, and that's what we're trying to do, is improve access so that families can get more involved, because we know that families want to get involved. We talk to people, parents, grandparents. In fact, we see them all the time around town because we're always out and about. So we see them all the time, and we talk and we listen. And that, I'm saying, yeah, everybody does a listening campaign, but they only do it when they're running for office. It's not what we're going to do. We've been listening for the past 7 years because we have a stake in this Richmond County school system. That's it.
And the last thing is keeping the community informed through technology. Like you said, we're in the age of cyber, so we're always using technology to get information through to people. And I think one of the ways that we could reach a lot of people is social media, because there are a lot of parents, students that are using social media. So if we could get all the schools and whatever other resources they have, if we could reach them through social media, I think that's important, that we have someone to maintain those pages. I guess. I'm not really much of a cyber geek, but
but there are people, in fact, the family, the parent coordinator at each school should know how to do this.
Yes.
All right. Yes. But there are people, we have a great technology team that works at the Board of Education, so they could train up, which they do train the vice principal usually and the parent facilitator at each school how to do these things. All you need to do is do something like this. This is what I'm talking about. This could be done at every board meeting right here. There's no need. I'm saying every board meeting can be like a town hall, a Facebook town hall, where you invite people to tune in. You listen to any questions that they have, or you pose your own questions like we're doing, and you answer them. And this is one way to get more involved. We think people would appreciate that just from having the information. What you do with the information is up to you. But the opportunity to be engaged is what people are looking for. So we're trying to do that. I'm saying, any school needs to do, including the board. All right, you can't just have a static web page and think people are going to visit. I'm not excited about it. I can go and look at pictures anywhere, but you develop a Facebook and Instagram and a Twitter account, and you just put out information. You're not trying to engage people to go, have a back and forth with people. You're putting out information, and you let people use that information as they may. And that's it. It's just that simple. And I've been saying this to members of the board and members of the administration for the past, 4 or 5 years, because we're at the forefront of doing this, and we're trying to show them right now by doing this what they can do. It doesn't matter, how many people you got tuning in. As long as you can reach one person, that's all that matters. Eventually, it'll filter down, and the word will get out. All right. But you have to do it. You can't just say, well, I don't, people are not going to like it, or they don't understand it. And sooner or later, the more you do it, the more people understand. It's just like hands-on training, which we think, that's another concern for school, is the more you put your hands on something, the better you do.
Right. Yeah, I'm a hands-on person, so I understand for some students it's kind of hard to get that information just when someone is just telling it to them. I am a hands-on person, so you can't just talk to me about it. You got to let me actually go through the motions. And I think, that's important.
It's pretty simple what we're proposing. It's really simple. It's not hard to do. It's just, I think once people rest on their laurels when they're doing certain things, so they have to, certain people just, I'm elected now, I'll do what they tell me to do, or I'll go along and get along. All right.
We're not doing
Yeah, that's fine for you if that's how you want to do things, but it's not hard to do these things.
Yeah.
We're not proposing that anyone change any type laws. We're not, because most of actually everything we want to do doesn't require any of your senators or representatives to do anything. All it requires is for us to use what we already have. It's already in place. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to reach out and go into the community. You know, there's one thing that goes, you have to reach people where they are.
Right.
You have to go to where the people are. So don't say this community is bad or they don't care. Well, when's the last time you've been there?
Right.
All right.
You got to know what they are feeling or what they're thinking.
Yeah. People become apathetic for a reason. I don't care. It's going to stay the same no matter what I do. You know, I go to the school and they look at me like I'm crazy. Yeah. You know,
there are a lot of good ideas out there, and they're not, those ideals aren't known because no one's asking. And those people are probably, intimidated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and we've seen that
because of some of the positions that certain people hold.
And we've seen that, or the way some people have had encounters with other people. You know, that is that first meet and greet that determines whether some parents are going to come back to the school or not.
Yeah.
If I walk in there and I don't see that smile that every customer service representative should have, I'm probably going to be either intimidated or very upset.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's simple things that we can change. And all of these things can be changed without much effort. We just have to use what we already have.
All right.
All right. Early voting starts Monday, October 15th. Please go and vote. If you live in District 3, you're going to see our name on the ballot. We're going to post it on at Whiteside 2018 on Facebook, and vote Whiteside on Twitter and Instagram at Whiteside 2018. And we'll post it on the webpage also, whiteside2018.com. And we'll keep you informed. We're going to keep doing this. Like we said, we get one person, we're happy. Because people are apathetic about voting. You know, you don't get the people you think you should be getting to vote also. And people are just, you know, they're content with letting things, you know, go the way they've always gone. And, you know, we're not going to stop. We're persistent folks. So we're going to keep doing what we do, no matter what. We've been doing it for the past 7 years, you know, and it's not going to change as long as our kids are in this system. And even after that, because the school system and education system that these kids get determine what they're going to do after school. All right. Once they finish, you know, it's one or two ways you can go. All right. So, but we're going to try to make sure that if they have a solid foundation, just like a house, I'm a realtor, folks. So the first thing you do when you build a house is put a solid foundation. Once you have a foundation, everything else goes up in a jiffy. So you have to make sure you got a solid foundation. That foundation starts at home, but we want to make sure that the parents feel like, you know, they can continue to build that foundation at school when they visit and the family. So let's make it happen. October 15th, Monday.
Yes.
Early voting
get
starts.
Out and vote.
Yeah, and it continues through November 2nd, and then go vote on November 6th, Tuesday.
And just to remind you, free Uber for November 6th voting, right? Yep. So if you do not have transportation, you do have transportation. Yep. There's no excuse.
It's free.
Free Uber.
Free Uber and Lyft. Lyft is also free on November 6th. And I put a coupon on my website, actually on my Facebook page at Whiteside 2018. Type it in, Whiteside for Board of Ed, for Richmond County Board of Ed. Go to our Facebook page. There's a coupon for free $15 Uber.
Yeah.
Free. Well, yeah, it's a coupon, $15. So that'll get you there at least.
Yeah.
But your ride is
free on November 6th.
Yeah,
so there's
totally
no excuses.
Totally free.
No excuses.
So we're trying to make it as easy. In fact, we even put the register to vote tab on my page. So, you know, even though that's over for Georgia, we're putting the information out there that everyone should have, and making it very accessible. So, you know, if you want to know something, just ask.
Just reach out. Oh, one example before we go of keeping the community informed.
Mm-hmm.
So, Richmond County Board of Education, Title I, they are hosting a lunch and learn session for active parenting. So this is one way that you can get involved, find out what's going on in schools. I'm not sure exactly what all they're going to be talking about, but I'm going to be there. My husband's going to be there, and we want to see you there. So it's going to be Tuesday, October 16th in a Title I classroom at 12 o'clock, 12 to 1. I know that's during lunchtime for some people, but if you can come and check in, that will be great. Once we end the meeting and I get home and settle down, I will get this information out to you to let you know what went down during that meeting. Just pass that information on.
Yeah, and these Title I meetings are very informative. We've learned so much from the ladies and gentlemen at the Title I office that you should know. That if you got any questions, just feel free to reach out, and we'll give you all the information that we have, because there's a lot of good stuff out there. There's a lot of good things that Richmond County is doing. I just don't think that a lot of people know about it. And if you can probably see this, I don't know if you can, it's the Title I flyer. All right, so if you can see that, please come out and support this. We're always there, and we hope that your candidates will show up too, so they can start getting involved on the ground floor and find out exactly what's going on in the school system. Instead of saying that they want to fix it, all right, they can actually see what's going on so they know what to fix. All right.
All right, I think we're going to end. Thank you, Tanya, for joining.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Guess we'll see you around. Before we go, Candidate Forum. Candidate Forum is going to be October 20th, next weekend, on a Saturday. I know Saturday, and it's in the evening, start at 7. I'm not quite sure the location, you know.
All right. Let me try to find out.
All right, he's gonna look this up real quick. And this is when you can come and you get to hear all of the candidates from each district speak, find out what their platforms are, and if you have questions or concerns, you can address them.
And we're gonna put it on the website. We'll post it on at Whiteside 2018 on Facebook, or Whiteside for Richmond County Board of Ed. Yeah. We'll put it on the website, and if you have the time and you want to know more about every candidate, they'll be there.
Yes.
All right, so come on out, support us, and we look forward to seeing you at this candidate forum on that Saturday.
Okay.
All right, so we'll see you soon, and if you see us out and about, honk your horn. We're used to that by now, so feel free to do that. We get a lot of that when we're out in the corner, so you'll see us out in the corners also. But if you see us around, please say hello.
Yeah. We'll be more than happy to talk to you.
All right. Thanks, folks, for tuning in.
Thank you. Whiteside signing out.
Whiteside 2018.